So, quick update. I wanted to show you guys this motor, this other one that I bought. And the reason why I'm buying these, or I have bought a couple of them versus making them, is because I wanted to see how they were made. I wanted to see what the circuits were. So, this one is probably the most unique one I've ever seen, and I'll show you why. Let me unplug it. And they were able to adapt a little micro USB for the power. But this is the reason why. This little chip right here is the reason why this is fascinating me. On first appearance, it looks to be just another Hall sensor. But if you look really closely, you can see that this Hall sensor has 4 prongs or 4 leads instead of the normal 3. And there's also no transistor for switching. I've never seen that before. I've only ever seen these guys, which are clearly the 3-prong Hall sensors. I've never heard of this before. It's a 477A sensor. And if you look inside there, it's just the little circuit board for the micro USB for the 5 volts that it needs to run. Actually, it needs 3.7 volts to run, according to the spec sheet. And I had to look it up because I had never heard of a 4-prong. And this, of course, is a single wound coil with the 2 outer prongs going to power and the 2 inner going to the coil. I've never seen that before. And of course, this is just your standard little, north-south rotor. But that to me is fascinating. So I looked online to try to figure out what that was after I looked it up under a magnifying glass to see what the serial number was, or the part number. And like I said, the top part of it is a 477A, and it's called an onboard magnetic sensor, or a Hall switch, or Hall sensor. And like I said, I've never seen that. So I looked it up, and I only found one place that sold it online. Most of my other electronic parts, I couldn't find it. But I did find it, and I ordered 10 of them. So I'm going to attempt to make a pulse motor using no transistors and just this new 4-prong Hall sensor. Like I said, I've never seen that before. This is not a bad little item for what I paid for it. I didn't pay that much for it, but it's pretty nice. But here's my new Newman motor, the bigger one, the one that I said I was going to make before. I ran out of wire, so I had to switch to a different wire. But this guy is a beast. It's got 2 7/8 by 7/8 N52 very powerful magnets in it. So when this thing gets going, man, the sparks and the amps that are flying off of this thing. So I'm going to try to incorporate some brushes. I have some spare brushes from, I don't know, one of my other tools that I have. So once I get those hooked up and get it going, I'll show you guys. Here, I'll show you really quick. Wait a minute, let me fix this. Hold on. All right, here, let me get it going. Let me turn it up a little bit. Working pretty good. I don't have a lot of power going to it. I have about 7.5 volts going to it, but it says it's producing like 5.3 amps, which I don't believe, but that's what the power supply is recording. So I need to hook up a amp meter to it, but it's going pretty good. What I want to do is I want to set up one of these with 4 magnets in it, but I'm unsure on how to set it up. Should I set it up north, south, north, south, or north, north, south, south? I think I should do north, north, south, south. But anyway, yeah, this rod gets hot because it is producing a lot of amps. But I wanted this to stick out because I want to put a rotor on here, and I'll show you that. Hold on.